In any case, witness, I hear that you saw the crime take place on the night in question. That's right. I can hardly believe I myself, to be honest. There is no way your little iris could do anything like that. Let us hear what you have to say, then. First, tell us about your own movements at night, eh? The night of the murder. Bikini! And I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but... Well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. So I left Iris to help the acolyte and return to the Kasakura temple. There is no bath at the inner temple, you see, and I needed a long hot soak. It was after I had finished, just as I was heading back. That's when I saw it. So it was simply coincidence that you found yourself returning to Hasakura temple. Yes, you could say that. If my back had not been in so much pain, I would have stayed at the inner temple. That sounds like a pretty important statement that she just made. There is only one problem with this testimony that I can see. And you are not about to follow the first hurdle now, are you, Mr. Miles Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth, please begin your cross-examination. Huh. What are my clues, actually? Rank, lights out and bells, was in... Oh, okay. So that's why she was not able to see her. The night I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but... Well, as you can see, my back likes to act out violently. I left Iris to help the acolyte and return to the Hasakura temple. But that never happened, because she came back. Rang lights out bell at 10 p.m. and was there in her room until the murder was discovered. Objection! So she never left. Witness have to undergo no trials, I'm afraid. The defendant's fate rests on their powers of observation and memory, after all. Well. Don't worry, I'm more than up to the test. I'm a woman of faith, after all, the head honcho of Hasakura Temple. In that case, Miss Honcho, I'd like you to explain something for me. The discrepancy between your testimony and that of the defendant Iris. She claims that after ringing the lights out bell, she went back to and stayed in her room. Which means she did not go to the inner temple at all. No, she said that. A defendant or a witness? Who is more likely to lie, do you suppose? The defendant is simply lying to cover her back. But that is completely illogical. The murder was committed in the courtyard of Hasakura Temple. Claiming that she went to the inner temple will make for a much better alibi. But that is odd. Whatever the reason, I can't believe that she will lie. She does indeed have honest eyes. All people lie, that is my belief. Why am I the only one being whipped here? Anyway, neither the witness nor the defendant have any reason to lie. Which means, we must call your memory into question. Dear. You're older than me and you just want to play that game, do you? Well, this is not exactly right. My memory is perfect, crystal clear, especially in winter. Then, I suppose it's too early to end this cross-examination, eh? Mr. Ashford, if you are going to question the memory of this witness, you will need to show me a more decisive piece of evidence. Understood, Your Honor. I was naive to think that alone will do the trick. Then please add your comments about Iris to this testimony, and let us return the cross-examination. Excuse me, had to sneeze. That night I was helping an acolyte in her training in the inner temple, but as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. Iris came to the inner temple. She was dressed exactly as she had been at dinner. Aha! Objection! Witness, let's get one thing straight. The defendant who you claim you have met, she was wearing this demon warning hood, right? Correct? Of course. That is a very important piece of clothing. I'll have you know. Wait a minute.
Objection!
Hold it right there. Why do you have that? That's the question of the day now, isn't it, Miss Von Karma? I'll have you know what this is hood was given to someone as a gift that night. Before the lights out bell was rung. What? You know where I'm going with this, don't you? If the witness had seen the defendant as she claimed, then the iris she saw should have been missing this very hood. Well, it's not a bad feeling at all exposing contradictions like this. Now I understand that happy look on Wright's face every time. Order in the court, witness, you oh! Sister, this hood. You have spare ones around the temple, don't you? Spares? Well, I do tend to make too many of them. I see, a stockpile. A surplus of hoods, eh? Each nun is only given one hood. This should be the only hood that Iris owns. Then this is quite strange. If there was a surplus of hood, then she could have worn one of those. There is no contradiction here. I'm sorry to break this to you, Miss Von Karma, but you won't get away, that is. Discrepancies such as these will sow seeds in any human heart. The seeds of doubt. Witness, while I don't wish to call your testimony into doubt, you must give every detail with precision. I am not sure I'm comfortable going along with this. Esther, you shall continue with your testimony. Tell us what you saw after finishing your bath on your way back to the inner temple. Those seeds of doubt are spawning in the judge's heart. They just need a little more stimulation to bear fruit. Contradictory stimulation. After my bath. I finished my bath around 11 and I thought I should return to the inner temple. And as I was walking back, I hear a noise from the courtyard. I took a look and Iris was... Oh, Miss Elise! Iris... And with a sword of all things! Miss Elise was staying in the corner room which faces out onto the courtyard. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window. How did you know that? Wait. You saw a truly terrible sight, don't you? If I was in your place, then I would be much like Miss Von Karma whipping Mr. Edgeworth in true incurred. And me saying it all from this very chair. Well, something like that. This judge. His imagination is about as vivid, as creative as Detective Gumshoe. I will look the fool if I commented on such foolishness. Anyway, this case is mine. Miles Edgeworth. Calling everyone by their full name. Can you do something about that habit of yours? After my battle. But yeah, I immediately saw the contradiction. I finished my battle around 11 and I thought I should return to the inner temple. As I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard and looked, there was... The stabbing I saw must have... How did you know? Loss of blood from stab in the back, body fell 10 feet after it. How did you know that she fell? That's my question, actually. This is Hermana Pikiki. Impressive logic. That's what I like to say anyway. Oh, please do. My brain is something else, especially in winter. However, I think you are overlooking one thing. Miss Von Karma, would you be so kind as to take another look at the autopsy report? The autopsy report? The victim did fall from a height of 10 feet. However, this fall was after she was killed. Huh? That's right, it says after death, right here. The scene that witness claims to have seen is contradictory. If the defendant stabbed and killed the victim here in the courtyard, how did the victim then go on to take a 10-foot fall? Huh. Order. The victim was killed and then fell. If that is the case, then the victim must have been killed in her room, don't you agree? That is logical conclusion. Yes, that's right. The victim must have been stabbed by the defendant in her own room. And she was thrown out of her window down into the courtyard below. Were there any signs of struggle in Miss Deoxynim room? She was stabbed with a sword. That would leave a blood stain, wouldn't you agree? Well, Miss Von Karma, was there any blood? No traces of blood were found in the victim room. Your whip has just caused traces of blood to be found on my glorious play of beard. However, if there was no blood in the room, then I'm sure there is no need for me to go over this. As I'm sure Your Honor is well aware of when a stab wound produces the most blood. When it produces the most blood, very little blood is actually lost in the moment of a blade insertion. Exactly. The blood actually comes out the moment you remove the object. That's actually that's even a fun thing because that's even in real life. Like, people say that if you get stabbed or if you get, for example, pierced by a piece of glass or a knife or something in a very delicate area, even in the urgency or in any hospital, they tell you don't remove it because while the knife is inside, it's going to block the blood vessels, and it's not going to be pouring a lot of blood. So it's gonna act like a cork to prevent a lot of blood losing, and you probably bleed to death. I know that it's a little scary, actually, the idea that you, for example, get stabbed and you keep the knife there, or even you hold it firmly so it doesn't fall down. But that's actually a safety measure that a lot of people say that if you get stabbed, you need to do that because it's dangerous. If it's not too serious, you can remove it. But if it's in a very sensible spot, it says that you don't remove it. Because the moment you remove it, you're gonna start losing a lot of blood, and there is a lot of problems. You can't stop the blood flow, exactly. Like, for example, if it damages an internal organ, it's important that you don't remove it, because then you're gonna be in problems. Some places it is necessary, yeah. There is some places where it's necessary to actually remove it. But if it's an internal organ, they say don't do it, because that will be dangerous. Like places, for example, like the lungs or other things, it's gonna be dangerous because if you remove it, the blood can probably start filling your lungs or other organs like that, and it's gonna be immediate death from blood loss. Yeah, that's even why in some things like that, like for example here in Mexico, that happens a lot. Like, I have seen a lot of people with big pieces of glasses or with knives or even fucking big ass metal like wiring, like the big metal wires that they use on constructions, that sometimes they got penetrated, and they say don't remove them because if you remove them, you can actually cause more damage and you can probably die. So there is even some places where they say like if that happened, don't remove it, and you just go immediately to the hospital. God damn, no! I'm actually doing fine, thank you. Yeah, there is some moments like that, but some others they say that it's actually it's better that you actually don't remove it, because you might lose too much blood and you probably will die from blood loss. If you want to talk about when the most blood will be lost from a body, that will be when the blade is removed. Indeed, with the weapon still in place, it acts like a lid on the wound. That's true, with the weapon still in the body, will not be much bleeding. A perfect reasonable line of thinking. We have come to a conclusion. The victim was thrown out of the window with the sword still in place. This removes all of the contradictions. A simple cut in the throat is enough, yeah. A simple cut in the throat that literally severed the jugular and you die. Yeah, because the jugular is the biggest actually vein that we got in the body. And if that got severed, doesn't matter how much you try to block it, it's immediate death. I expect no less from Francisca Von Karma. She locates and takes control of every vital point. It seems that we need a clear testimony from the witness. Remove all suspicion on your part and tell us only the fact, please. Witness, please, remain standing on the crate. Don't go selling me short now. The weight of a winter snow has bent me out of shape. Especially my back on my mood. Sister, please, give us your testimony. I will give you a vigorous massage when we are finished here. With my whip. With the whip. my god, I was not expecting that. What is with me thinking like the characters of this game? Oh boy. Alright. The other one, the thing to the heart, but it's the biggest vessel. But yeah, I got it. Yeah, the ones that the heart actually got the most delicate one, especially the ones that come directly from the heart. The jugular is obviously one of the most delicate ones, and then it goes all the way down to the heart. So that's actually the biggest one. I forgot the name of the other one that Proto says, but that's also another of the biggest one. And an impact there is an immediate death. Furter detalles. When I look across at the scene, the sword was already in place. Thinking about it now, I didn't actually see her stab look at this. I never seen so much blood before. That's when I fainted. You can't blame me, can you? And when I awoke, Missy Kaby was stabbing Miss Elise to the back. So the statue killed her. This is all confirmed, Miss Von Karma's theory. Von Karma's eye for nothing but perfection. Putting together such facts is nothing for me. You should know that, Miles Sedgeworth. Perfection is an impossibility, Franziska Von Karma. And I'm here to teach you just that. Further detail. Okay, so let's see. When I look across the scene, the sword was already in place. Thinking about it now, I didn't actually saw her stab. I never seen so much blood before.
Hold it!
So, you're saying that you saw the victim's blood? That's right. Some of it has splattered onto Iris too. But we say that there is no blood if the stabbing was there and the sword was still in place. When the defendant was arrested, she was meditating her proof, and her blood-flecked clothing was neatly floating in the court. What? Her clothes were blood-flecked as well? Seems quite conclusive to me. What shall I do? Press this motive further? Yeah, let's proceed. Going back to your previous statement, you say that you saw little bleeding when the victim was stabbed. But now, you say you saw the victim bleeding? Well, I say that what I saw is what I saw. What did you see? Maybe you didn't see the poor woman get stabbed, but I saw the girl pull the sword out of her. Plain as day. Pulling the sword out? Well, it wasn't exactly pulling, it was more like it came out. Witness, you will add this statement to your testimony. Was that important? More important than you can imagine. I saw the instant in which the blade plunged into the hilt. Wait, I saw the instant in which the blade plunged into the hilt was smoothly drawn out. No. Because the hilt is not even bloody.
Objection!
Mr. Bikini, you are a reliable witness. At least I like to think so. But there are too many contradictions here. What do you mean? You make it sound as though I'm a liar. But you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. What contradictions are you talking about? In the scene of that the witness claims to have seen, the weapon was thrust up to its hilt into the victim. Furthermore, the killer withdrew the weapon smoothly from the body. However, both of these are completely impossible. What do you mean? Please explain explain yourself. To start with, do you think it will be possible to stab someone to the hilt with this? No matter how I look at the defendant, she doesn't appear strong enough for that.
Objection!
Doesn't appear? What meaningless dribble? I too might appear to be weak and frail, but I can crush men under my heel and make them weep, should I so choose? The objection stands. I wept a little back there, I must admit.
Objection!
That is not the only issue here. If this sword was truly stabbed into the body up to the hilt, well, just look at all the branches on it. It certainly will not come out smoothly. That's... Well, we also have the problem of the amount of bleeding. It is true that when a blade is left in the body, it acts as a clock of sorts. However, when a weapon is shaped like this, it's an entirely different story. The wound will be too large for the blade to completely stop the bleeding.
Objection!
But nothing more than conjecture. In reality, the victim was stabbed with a shishito. Even a weapon of this nature may still sometimes slide out smoothly and may still sometimes stop the blood loss.
Objection!
How? I'm sorry, but that's impossible. I cannot visualize that. I'm not finished. There is still one more conclusive contradiction. You still got more? This one is simple. If this sword really was thrust all the way to the hilt, why is there any blood? Why is there only blood on the tip of it? If this witness is telling the truth, then there should be blood along the entire length of the sword. Eee! Bravo, Miles Sedgeworth, raising this many contradictions from a single piece of evidence. All the other attorneys I know could maybe manage one if that. What does this all mean? A proven contradiction regarding the murder weapon, but having come this far, there can only be one answer. And that is, the weapon used to kill the victim was not the shishito. What? A foolish idea born from the foolish mind of a foolhardy foolish fool. Let's examine this again. What was it that made us think this sword was a murder weapon? Well, it's because Mizugami was holding it. Exactly. However, if you reflect on this, that is the only basis we have to assume such a thing. The impression left by the scene was too strong that is what influenced. It influenced us to believe that the shishito was the murder weapon. Order! Oh! So maybe the shishito was not a murder weapon. Even if that is the case, it changed nothing, Miles Edgeworth. The sister here saw everything. She saw the defendant stab the victim with a sword-like object. That's true. Response, Mr. Edgeworth. If that is so, I would like the prosecution to answer the obvious question it raises. The obvious question? Yes, namely, where did the real murder weapon disappear to? It goes without saying that the police searched the main hall and the surrounding area. Perhaps the prosecution can enlighten us to if a sword-like object was found? That... Answer the question, Miss Von Karma. No, evidence of that kind was found. Aha! Another mystery to throw into the past. Trouble without a murder weapon is a tricky beast. Excuse me, could I say something? I just remembered something, actually. What is it, sister? I was just thinking, it's possible that just maybe what actually happened was, it was just over there. What exactly are you going on about here? The murder weapon, I mean, maybe... I might know where the sword was disposed of. You what? Well then, I think we need to hear testimony from you one more time, sister. Impossible. What else could this old woman have seen? Oh fuck. Yeah, I probably won't be able to finish the trial today. I'm gonna have to wait and see if there is a to be continued or something like that. Location of the weapon. I saw the murder weapon around 11 p.m. And after asking that it be reported, I went out to the main gate. And there I saw tracks that indicate that snowballs had been used. It takes 50 minutes to walk to Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon into the Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. Paris will have done that. She can drive a snowmobile after all. Witness, please tell us everything you know right away next time. Well, I'm not in the best shape, what with my back and my age, you know. Quiet. Nobody needs snowmobile tracks in front of the main gate. Here is a photograph. A snowmobile, eh? I see. Well, it certainly is an interesting theory. Huh. The tracks being in front of Asakura Temple and run all the way to Dusky Bridge. That solves your pesky little problem, yes? The Eagle River current is quite swift, meaning that it doesn't freeze over in winter, making it the perfect place to dispose of the murder weapon. Did she really go to the river to dispose of the murder weapon? Mr. Edgeworth, your cross-examination, please. Shit. I saw the murder at the road level. Okay. There must be something on this photo that I can use against it. No blood trail. Could it be? Wait. I'm thinking. Wait! If she went, disposed the body, and then she came back, then should not be there two set of tracks? I mean, if she actually took the snowmobile, went to the bridge, throw the weapon, and then drive back with the snowmobile, then it should be two tracks of the snowmobile then. It should not be only a single one. And you cannot tell me that she drove over the first track, because that will be fucking impossible. I think that's the clue, actually. Okay, let me try. What was the thingy? After that, asking that it be reported when it's committed. I saw tracks that indicated that snowmobile has been used. 15 minutes to walk to Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon into Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. I don't see that possible.
Objection!
Okay, that's where everything falls down. I admit it protocol for something. It proves that the snowmobile was used on the night of the murder. You finally accepted the inevitable, it seems, Mouse Edgeworth. Then Karma objects with the footsteps. Probably. It might probably happen. However, if what the witness says is true, then why is there only one set of tracks? What do you mean? I left Asakura Temple, throw the weapon into the river, and then return. If that was the case, then naturally there should be two sets of tracks in the snow. Those from heading out to the bridge, and those from coming back. Oh, you're right. You're forgetting one thing, Mouse Edgeworth. On the night of the murder, it was snowing. The tracks leading to the bridge were erased by the snowfall. This removes your precious contradiction now, doesn't it? I see. While she was at the river, the snow stopped, leaving just the return tracks in the snow. What do you have to say now, Mouse Edgeworth? Is there a flaw in her theory? Actually, yes. Okay, when did the weather report say that it stopped snowing? Weather data. Snow 7 to 10:50. And she said that she saw the victim at 11. Yeah, there is no point. This idea that snowfall covered one set of tracks. There is a contradiction. The tracks of the driver to the river were covered by snow. What a nice theory. However, Miss Von Karma, what is impossible, that is impossible. Would you care to explain why there is a rude index finger currently pointing in my general direction? Because I'm gonna poke you with it. I'm gonna finger you just like Phoenix Wright does. No need. The evidence will do all the talking for me. On the night of the murder, the killer went to and returned from Dusky Bridge. In order to dispose of the murder weapon, the outgoing tracks were erased by snow. Or so claims Miss Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth, present your evidence to the contrary, eh? Evidence that the outgoing tracks were not covered in snow. Be glad it was the index finger and not the other one. Exactly. Witness, please tell us again what time it was you witnessed the crime. Like I say, it was around 11. Of course, this means that the weapon was thrown away after that time, correct? On that note, please take a look at this data. It's the weather report for Eagle Mountain on the night of the murder. The weather report? Snow started to fall at 7 p.m., but it stopped at around 10:50. Therefore, when the sister witnessed the crime at 11 p.m., the snow had already stopped falling. It is impossible for any tracks made after that time to have been covered up. Order, order! Very well then. It looks like Miss Von Carmack Lane has been snowed in. It's too soon to be closing this trial due to snow. Miles Sedgeworth, how pathetic of you to rely on the weather of all things. Answer me this then. When is a weather report ever correct? Okay, I have to agree with Von Karma on that. Okay, that's actually a good thing. So that's actually correct. No, you got it all wrong. This is not a forecast, this is actual data. Forecast data, all weather reports have some inaccuracies. Yeah, she's actually right on that. We cannot rely on that. It might have still been snowing in the vicinity well past 11 p.m. It's true, we cannot be totally sure, eh? What? How did she pull that off? It has stopped snowing at Hasakura Temple, birthplace. You need to provide conclusive evidence of this. I've come this far, there is no turning back now. Very well. I too cannot allow any doubt to remain concerning to this testimony. You cannot back down, can you? Such a perfectionist, Miles Edgeworth. Very well then, Mr. Edgeworth. Where is your evidence that it had already stopped snowing when the victim was killed? The crime photo? Yeah, because the body is not covered in snow.
Take that!
Ultimately, it all comes down to one point. That being, whether or not it was snowing in the courtyard when the victim was stabbed. That's right, but proving that is incredibly easy. If we want to know whether it was snowing or not, this photo will tell us everything. Of course, I am referring to the photo of the crime scene. As you can see, everything is covered with snow. With just one exception. And that is the evidence herself, Miss Elise Joxy. Why is there no snow on top of her? The answer is simple. It has stopped snowing when she was killed, that's why. In other words, if the killer really did go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon, then in this photograph there should be two sets of tracks. Order! Just what are you suggesting, Miles Edgeworth? To be honest, I am not entirely sure myself, but this is simply what all of the facts point to. That night, someone used a snowmobile to leave Hasakura Temple. When the track left, it can be understood that they were heading for Dusky Bridge. At that time, it was still snowing. Of course it was, because those tracks were erased by the snow. Then, when the first person returned to Hasakura Temple, the snow had stopped. Thus, the return tracks remain. Also, that's why the snowmobile doesn't have any snow on it. Can I say something? This all sounds a bit fishy to me. What does, sister? There is only one key for the snowmobile. Furthermore, on the night in question, we know that the defendant had it. The key was found in her room after the murder. Which can only be in that night, Iris used the snowmobile to go into the inner temple. But Iris say that she never went there. I should probably press on this point some more when I get a chance. The snowmobile cannot cross the suspension bridge. Oh, the snowmobile can cross the suspension bridge. So she must have left it on Hasakura's side, on the Hasakura side of the bridge and crossed on foot. Yes. That sounds right. But what's this? When I left Iris and returned to the Hasakura temple, the snowmobile was not there. I didn't see anything near the Dusky Bridge. Must have just failed to see it, sister. Maybe, but when I made it back to the Sakura temple, it was there, by the main gate. The snowmobile, I mean. I know what I saw, it was covered in snow too. Huh. But that... it's impossible. Order in the court. What does this all mean? So then, what was the snowmobile used for? It was not taken by the defendant when she went to the... Wait. No, because that's a photo of the crime scene. Because I was about to say, what if they used the snowmobile to get rid of the body? If it had been then, the witness could not possibly have seen it by the gates. Furthermore, it was not used by the killer to dispose of the murder weapon. If that was the case, there should be 2 sets of tracks in this photo. All we know is this. After it stopped snowing, someone used the snowmobile to return to Hasakura Temple. I never thought a simple snowmobile could cause such much trouble. I think we learned all of we can do from this witness. I've nothing more to add. I told you everything that I know. But then, that still leaves us with the same problem. If only there was someone, a witness, who could testify to have seen the snowmobile. A witness, huh? Was there no one out walking perhaps near Dusky Bridge on that night? I don't think that's likely. He was cold enough to freeze your ears off. Only an idiot will go out wandering in that. Unless they had something really important to do. That's a shame. Hold on. Something is coming to me. An idiot might well have gone wandering out on the sub-Arctic night. Your Honor? Actually, there just might be one individual who might be of help to me. Really? You know of someone who might have seen the snowmobile on the night of the murder? I don't know for sure if he saw it or not, but there are 2 things about him that do come to mind. Which are, first, that he saw something incredible on the night of the murder. And the second being, this individual that I'm talking of went wandering outside on the cold night. In other words, he is some kind of idiot. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this idiot you're talking about? Oh, Bonka! No, just kidding.
Take that!
This guy must be product of Jean-Luc the Laduc's Guide to Obnoxious French Painting. This is Larry Budd, a disciple of the victim Elise Duxton. Her student, interesting. And why was he wandering about outside on the night of the murder? That's... we don't know. I could tell them at all about his designs for Iris, but it might come to us incredible as a witness before I even call him. He is, after all, an artist. He was perhaps searching for something in the snowy scenery that will move him, although I cannot guarantee that this is the reason. And so, this unfortunate, unreliable-looking man, what exactly was it what is that he saw? I intend to extract that from him, right here in this courtroom. Summon this Joe as a witness immediately. I have no choice, do I? I believe he is in the gallery for this trial. It will not take long to summon him. Very well, Larry. You might have escaped me yesterday, but today I'm going to get everything out of you. The court will now adjourn for a 20-minute break. Miss Von Karma, please see them preparing the next victim witness. Understood, Your Honor. Good. Well then, court is now in recess. To be continued. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that for tomorrow. My god, this went longer than I expected. I mean, let's be honest. This is the final this is the final chapter of the game, the episode 5. So it's gonna be really, really long. So yes, I'm gonna leaving that for the next stream. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm not really sure what to say. Shut up! That's what you're gonna say. Shut up, lady. But yeah, I'm gonna be calling here for tomorrow because that was way longer than I expected, not gonna lie. And we still got, let me be honest, we still got the second part of the trial, another investigation, and another trial. So I might leave all the investigation for tomorrow and the second part of this trial. And then for Sunday, I might leave the final trial for this game. But hey, it was fun. Like I say, I'm in love. I'm in a big of love of this game. It's actually really fun. I really enjoy this game so much. So, and I can say I really hope all of you guys been enjoying this. Like, I know that my stupidity and my derpiness have literally been what is the name? Has been all derpiness and shit like that. But again, I really hope all of you guys been enjoying all these. I really had a lot of fun with this game. I might call it here for tonight. I will see you guys the next time for another stream of Phoenix Wright. Thank you all of you guys for coming to the stream. We got Proto, Tsubaki, Porcaleto, Henku, Hajime, and Pyron. So thank you all of you guys for being here tonight with me on the stream. I will be seeing you guys tomorrow for more of this game. Probably we're gonna be able to finish the game this weekend. Who knows? We'll see. But again, thank you all of you guys. Stay awesome. Love you all. Big hug to all of you. Here is a gigantic hug from the big dino. I almost clicked the wrong thing. Hold on, it's because I cannot send it. There. Big hugs to all of you. And I will be seeing you guys tomorrow for the ending for the next part of the game. So take care everyone. Have a good night and see you guys Sunday.